Hello fellow humans. So today's video is going to be more of a serious one, as you can probably guess by the title. And I feel like in a lot of my videos I'm always like, I just want to preface this by saying, I know, but this is another video where I just want to preface this by saying that yes, I know I have a video about working at Pizza Hut, but I have worked for multiple different delivery companies, not just that one, and I'm not going to mention which company it is that this happened at, just because there was a case opened about it and it was obviously an actual place, and I just don't want to get myself into any legal trouble by saying which company I was working for when this happened. Just putting that out there. With that being said, I'm also making this video because for whatever reason, I'm assuming a lot of people that go into delivery driving watch YouTube videos about it because that one has a decent amount of views. Don't know why, but if you're looking into being a delivery driver, all I can say about that job is I love it. Like, yes, there are safety hazards when it comes with it. Obviously, you're putting a lot of wear and tear on your car. You're not making a crap ton of money, but if you're in school or you're just needing to do some kind of a job to get by, it's awesome because you're not stuck in one place. You're not stuck behind a cash register. You're not stuck behind a desk. Like, you're out moving around, driving, listening to music. Like, it's an awesome job, and that's why I had those jobs. Like, yes, I knew there were risks that came with it, but I also cannot stand to be stuck in a little cubicle scanning people's groceries all day. Like that. I'm getting off subject. Anyway, I was working for this delivery company. I was like 21 or 22 when I was working for this place. And I get an order. It's going to a James. It's some kind of apartment complex. Nothing unusual, right? And normally, okay, I shouldn't say normally, but if you look at like the guidebook and everything, you're supposed to call every number on every order before you go on the delivery. I can tell you, being a delivery driver at several different places, that this is not always the case. Like, you get in a rush and you just trust that the delivery is safe and you go, or you're like, I've been there before, nothing bad has ever happened, and you go. Like, or just people never call because they just don't. Anyway, so I go on this delivery, not thinking anything about it. It's to an apartment complex I've never been to, but I've been to the area before. Like, I've been to apartment complexes around that area. I go to karaoke in that area. Like, I was not worried about this area. So I pull up, and I remember I like had to like try to find where the closest place would be to the apartment that I was looking for, but it was nighttime, so obviously I couldn't tell. So I just park somewhere in the parking lot. I'm like halfway through the parking lot. I didn't go to the very end of it. And I park, so I walk up, and there's like this gated section, and there's this yard in there, and obviously there's apartments going all the way around the place. So I go through the gate, and I'm like looking for whatever apartment number this is, can't find it. All of a sudden this guy comes up, and he's kind of like, he kind of jogs up, and he's like, hey, you got a delivery? I was like, yeah, are you James? And he's like, yeah, I'm James. I was like, okay, ha ha ha, like, I was trying to find your apartment out here, couldn't find it. He was like, oh yeah, mine's over this way. I'm like, okay. So I follow him around, and so he wants me to go outside the gate and then around, which I'm assuming, just looking at the way that the building is designed and the fact that I've delivered to apartment complexes before, that there are apartments on the other side of this building, and that the parking lot just kind of goes around and you leave out the other side. Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, makes perfect sense. His apartment is just around the corner. He saw me pull up because I had my sign. Like, nothing weird was going off in my 21-year-old head. I start following him around the corner, and I thought it was a little bit weird just because, like, we're going through this parking lot and it's dark, but at the same time, I think there's apartments on the other side. So I think I'm not really alone. And I remember he was doing this little, like, he was like walking with a, I don't even know, like, what you would call it, like a limp, I guess, but it was kind of like, you know, when people are trying to be like gangsters, so they're trying to walk all cool. He was one of those, and I didn't think he would actually be a gangster because there's so many wannabe people that I just didn't think anything of it. And I remember, actually, he had on these really bright shoes, because I remember I complimented him, and I was like, hey, I like your shoes. And he like turned around after that. Like, he kind of ignored me when I said that, and then he like stopped and he turned around. And I was like, this is weird. And all of a sudden he like pulls up his hand like that, and he has a hoodie on. So there's his sleeve, but I can see like the barrel of a gun in his sleeve, and I'm like, crap. Like, that happened so fast. It went from being at work, going on deliveries, complimenting this guy on his shoes, and then all of a sudden I have a gun in my face. And when that happens, I always thought if something like that happened, I would freak out, right? I mean, you're not expecting it, and it's a very serious situation. Like, you could die right now. But I remember the second I processed what exactly was happening, I went dead calm. Everything was just okay. I don't even know how to describe it. Because if this guy was sketchy enough to do something like this, to me, obviously a young girl just doing her job, then like, who's to say he wouldn't actually go through with it if he wanted to pull that trigger, you know? But at the same time, I was in my head, in like the calmness that overcame me, I was like, there's nothing I could do about this. I did not see this coming. This was out of my control. If this is how it happens, or how like everything ends, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's a really shitty situation, don't get me wrong, and my family is gonna be sad, but as far as like me personally, I won't know if he pulls the trigger. It's just done. Like, I won't experience that. It's either I'm gonna be standing here and I know I'm gonna keep standing here, or I'm not, and I'm not even gonna know that I'm not still standing here. Are you comprehending? Like, even if I did die that night, I wouldn't know that I died that night because I would be dead. That's a little dark. That's weird. Anyway, moving on with the story. He goes, give me everything. And I'm like, okay. And I remember thinking I was so happy. I left my phone in my car. Normally I take it with me for like a flashlight, but I was so happy that I left it in my car. I didn't have anything on me except my bank that obviously I had in my pocket if people needed change, and obviously the food that was with me. And I was so dumb. Like, yes, I was calm, but I've never been in a situation where I'm being robbed or mugged or whatever you call it. Like, I don't know the protocol. I think if you're being robbed, they want money. That's what I think. So I like reach in my back pocket, I take out my money, I give it to him, my bank. At this point, I had forgot that I had a bag of food with me. And he's like, give me everything. I'm like, that's everything. Completely forgetting about the bag of food that he ordered that I was supposed to deliver. That's probably what this whole thing was over. And then he's like, okay, go back to your car. And that part, I will say, was the scariest part of the whole situation, because I had to turn my back to him and I had to walk away. And I didn't know what he was gonna do, but at the same time, what else was I gonna do? I couldn't take on the guy. There was nobody else in the parking lot, which I will get to in a second. There was literally nothing I could do except walk back to my car and hope for the best. And so I did. I remember I walked back to my car, and I walked back just like casually. Like, I wasn't exactly like taking my time, but I wasn't running back to my car either. I get in my car, and that's kind of when I started getting a little bit nervous. I got in my car and I like looked out the window to see if I could see him, because I didn't want to even look back until I actually got in my car because I felt more secure. So I get in my car, look back, and I don't see him. He's gone. Anyway, I pull out and I go out the other end of this parking lot because I had come in this way. So I was just going to follow it around and go out. Turns out this apartment complex is not set up the way that I assumed it was. The apartment complex does not continue around on the other side, it actually ends there. So the parking lot ended, you know, right when I pulled out this way. But I didn't see that because there was like, I'm really bad at describing what this building looked like, but I couldn't see it because there was a corner there. I could not see that it ended and the parking lot ended. So that was freaky too, because then I had to like slowly turn my car around to get out of this parking lot, and I did not know where this guy was. I have no idea where he went. So I finally pull out, turn around, get out of the driveway, start driving back. I like pull over, and I'm just like, how am I supposed to handle this situation? I'm still super calm. Like, I'm a little bit shaken, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you can even tell now, like, you can tell in my Pizza Hut video that I'm nervous. Everybody thinks I'm on drugs. Like, I'm just naturally a very nervous person, okay? But I was still very calm in my head for what the situation was. It was almost just like, I was like, huh, well, that was interesting, you know? So I pull over at a gas station and I call my work and I'm like, yeah, I just got robbed. I don't know what do I do? Do I call the cops right now? I literally had no idea what to do because I had not expected that. I had never been in a situation like that. I was just, I don't know. And they're like, wait, you got robbed? I'm like, yeah, on this last delivery, some guy like held a gun to me and he had me give him my money. And they're like, okay, well, just come back to the shop. I'm like, all right. So I go back to the shop, and I remember I had called my boyfriend at the time, and he was like mad. He was like pissed. He wanted to find this guy. He was like, what did he look like? What was he wearing? And I'm like he had cool shoes. That's pretty much all I could say. So I get back to the store, and they don't have me do anything, which I thought was weird, but at the same time, I didn't want to get in trouble. I was so dumb when I was 21 or 22. I was just dumb, okay? So nothing really ended up happening. And what is extra funny is a little while later, I can't remember if it was a week later or just like a few days later or even the next day, I don't know. The regional manager is there, right? And he comes and he talks to me about the situation, and he's like, oh my god, you got robbed, that's awful, I'm sorry to hear that, we're gonna make it up to you, there's something that we're gonna do for you, like, we will make this up to you. And I got in trouble for I had these Bluetooth headphones that I wore. Granted, you're not supposed to wear headphones, but like, I would. And I got in trouble for wearing headphones. So, and I never got anything out of it. I just got in trouble for wearing headphones. Literally the only thing I got out of that situation. And after that, it was kind of I mean, I don't want to say a reality check because I know stuff like this can always happen, but just the fact that it had happened kind of changed things. As a delivery driver at pretty much any place you work, you're not allowed to carry weapons, you're not allowed to basically have anything to defend yourself with. So I got this little, I don't have it with me, it's like a T though, and like you can hold it, and if someone comes at you, you get like it's a self-defense thing. And I also got a thing of pepper spray that I could put on my keychain, which technically I'm not supposed to have, but I was like, really, like, if I have to choose between being safe at my job and potentially losing my job, like, I'm gonna keep the pepper spray. I also learned how to shoot a gun, which I had never done before. Kind of a big gun. It was a 49, 59, I don't know. It was a large handgun. So, definitely kept some stuff with me throughout that job after that happened. And I carried something else with me that I'm not going to tell you what it was because I would get in trouble if I did. So I'm going to just let you fill in the blanks there. I made sure I was going to be okay. And I remember the police were asking me about what happened, what he looked like, what he was wearing, and the thing that really sucks about that is I don't remember. And I know that's really common when people are in situations like that. But the thing that sucks is I remember actively looking at what he was wearing. And I know he was wearing jeans. He had on the bright shoes that I complimented him on. He had on a hoodie, obviously, because that's what he used to like conceal the gun. Color-wise, I can't tell you. I was really no help, and that sucks because I know this dude is still out there somewhere doing God knows what, and that sucks. Go memory. Go memory. Anyway, if you're a delivery driver, I don't want to tell you to do anything that could get you in trouble, but at the same time, make sure you're being careful. Whether you're that employee that seems to be like over cautious, whatever you want to call it, and annoys everybody because you call before every order, if that's what you got to do, because that's another thing, is we went to call the phone number that was with the order, and it wasn't even a real phone number. Like, this guy literally just called in a phony order so that he could take whatever I had on me, except for the food that he actually ordered. My bad. I don't even know how to get robbed properly. Like, and people wonder why I struggle in social situations. Just call every number of every order if you have to, just to like make sure you're safe. I know in most places people don't do that, and your boss can get frustrated because we're in a hurry and you gotta go. Remind your boss that, hey, this is in the book. I'm supposed to do this to stay safe so I don't get shot or beaten up or whatever. Just do that. Don't make a mistake like I did, even though I don't deliver food anymore. I do hair, and I really hope nobody tries to shoot me while I'm doing hair. That'd be awesome. Anyway, yes, moral of this story, if you're a delivery driver or any kind of delivery person or somebody going out about dealing with strangers, just be safe and learn from my story. So I'm actually editing this video right now, and sorry I'm being quiet, my roommate is in bed. Anyway, I forgot to say that this guy didn't even get that much money from me. He got like, it was like $17 because I had 20 bucks on me for change, and I had already given somebody change for the day. So like, that whole deal, and he got like $17. And people that knew what happened, like at work and everything, they were asking, oh my god, are you okay, are you okay? And I've been like, I was waiting for a long time for it to like catch up with me and like hit me and me to have like this breakdown and like freak out. And for whatever reason, I am just super calm about it. Like, if anything, it's just made me look at death differently, just because I could have died in that moment, and I was so calm about it just because like, I won't know if I die. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, no, it doesn't. It's not something that like keeps me up at night or that I like freak out about. I just wanted to like add that in because I know people are probably gonna ask, because people always ask me when I tell them this. That's about it. So 17 bucks is what the dude got. No, I don't really freak out about it. Alright, thanks for watching.